So I was just reading about how AI is changing our approach to creativity. It's fascinating to think machines can now generate artwork.
Really? That's surprising. I mean, can you truly call it creativity if it's generated by algorithms?
Right? But what if we think of creativity as not just originating from human emotions, but also from new combinations of ideas?
That's a good point. It's like when you remix music, the original artist's emotions become part of something new.
Exactly, and that raises the question, does an AI's remix actually hold value or is it just a clever imitation?
That's tricky. If viewers appreciate it, isn't that what matters? But then, who's the creative owner?
You know, this makes me think of how we often talk about authorship in the digital age. Are AIs merely tools or creators?
Totally, but can a tool have ownership or intent? I'm skeptical because it can't possess feelings.
For sure, but imagine a future where AI collaborates with artists, enriching their process. That could redefine ownership.
That's an interesting perspective, but we need clear guidelines to ensure artists are respected, right?
Absolutely, but there's a counterargument, art is always evolving. Maybe this is just another step in that evolution.
True, yet some may view AI-generated pieces as lacking soul. How do you connect with something that has no emotions?
That's such a valid question. Can connection happen through the experience of viewing the piece despite AI's absence of feelings?
I see what you mean. If it evokes emotions in people, maybe that's enough. But does that dilute the role of the artist?
It might, but think of it like sampling in music. You're taking something familiar and giving it new life.
Right, but then, do we risk valuing the remix over the original? Is it possible that we forget the artist?
That's a real fear, but the conversation shifts when we consider the accessibility that AI brings to new creators.
True, it could democratize creativity. Yet, it might also flood the market with mediocre art.
Yeah, and then how do we even begin to filter through all of that? Is human critique still valid?
Definitely. But it could also create biases where only certain styles or techniques get validated.
Hold on, let's unpack that. Could this bias be an issue because AI tends to learn from existing data, reinforcing norms?
Exactly. If AI is only trained on popular styles, we may miss out on diversity in the creative landscape.
That's a bit concerning. So while AI can offer new ideas, it might also hinder some forms of innovation.
For sure. And that leads to the question, should we regulate AI in creative fields to ensure diversity?
Wow, but where do we draw the line? It raises ethical debates about censorship versus creativity.
True, it's a balancing act. Too much regulation might stifle creativity, but too little could lead to homogeneity.
Wow, this is deep, but has anyone actually studied how viewers perceive AI-generated versus human-made art?
Great question. There are some studies, but results are mixed. People often have stronger emotional responses to human art.
Interesting, so the emotional aspect certainly plays a role, but why? Is it nostalgia or an innate connection?
That's intriguing. There's something to be said about the human experience behind art that an AI lacks.
Totally, it's like the difference between a recipe and a home-cooked meal. One's made with love, the other is, well, procedural.
Exactly. And does that mean the soul of art is fundamentally human, or can it evolve to include AI?
That's a thought-provoking idea. Can a new kind of artistic soul emerge from AI collaborations?
Potentially. But let's not forget the importance of the conversation around ethical use and impact on human artists.
Absolutely. This highlights the need for dialogues on AI's role in creativity as it continues to evolve.
And it's a fascinating journey we're all on. I can't wait to see how this will shape future artists and their work.
Me too, but one final thought. What happens if AI becomes a tool for amplifying underrepresented voices?
That could spark a revolutionary shift in creativity. It opens the door for so many new possibilities.
Right, but that also leads us back to the importance of ethics in leveraging that potential.
For sure, it's a cycle of innovation and responsibility that we must navigate thoughtfully.
And as we do, we need to ask ourselves, are we ready for the new definitions of creativity coming our way?
Absolutely. It's an exhilarating and daunting prospect to consider. I'm excited to see where it goes.